Morning to all students. Today we to study about the general layout of hydraulic systems in the subject of oil hydraulics and pneumatics. We have earlier discussed what is the hydraulic system, what is the pneumatic system, and what is the electric system by operated. Today we have to study a basic information about the hydraulic circuit. In that we have to study general layout of hydraulic system. What is the need for hydraulic system? What is the requirement for hydraulic system? Why we have to using? How can the convert energy from one energy to another energy? The hydraulic system is a power transmission system. Basic hydraulic system that's called as a power transmission system, which convert mechanical energy to pump. Pump can flow the hydraulic pressurized oil to the actuator and actuator convert in a higher mechanical energy. Yes, we have to start. Hydraulic is the mechanical function that operates through the force of liquid pressure. Is that the mechanical system can operate whole hydraulic system and it's create a highly pressure on the oil like as a liquid form and it's creating a pressure. Then after this pressure we have to use in our useful work as utilization work. Hydraulic system used to pump to push hydraulic fluid through the system to create a fluid power. Hydraulic pumps are pumping the fluid from one place to another. That means it's called from reservoir tank to the hydraulic line and it's creating a higher pressure and this pressure is creating a useful work. The fluid passes through the valve and flow into the cylinder where the hydraulic energy converts back into the mechanical energy. First is lead to a, we have to apply mechanical energy. Then after we have to compress the oil in a hydraulic pump. That oil are passed from the hydraulics line from the valve like as a pressure control valve, flow control valve, or any another control valve. And then after the hydraulic energy are converted back into the mechanical energy. The valve help to direct flow of the liquid and relieve pressure when needed. What is the function of the direction flow valve or of FCV flow control valve? Is flow the oil or liquid from the liquid line and relieve the pressure when needed. Means that we have to not require the operating pressure at the high load condition. We have to remove that. That we have to relieve pressure from the hydraulic line when we have to need it. So it's a return back to its original position. There is a two types of the hydraulic system are available: open loop hydraulic system and closed loop hydraulic system. Open loop hydraulic system it's take a oil from the one place and drain at the another place. The closed system are the oil are taken from the one place and returned back to a that original place. That's called as a closed loop hydraulic system. It's one oils can start to running in a hydraulic system. It's a continue in a circuit. For open system, they are not using a recirculating process. That's called as an open loop system. So next we have to show this is the drawing mentioned in the right side of your display. It's a basic hydraulic working system. General layout of the hydraulic system, we also can say that the number of parts we have to show in this drawing. Oil reservoir. This portion are called as a oil reservoir. And after this portion are called as a pressure relief valve. When the pressure is goes to a high in a hydraulic line, what happened at this time? It's creating a critical pressure inside the line. And whenever the pressure are critical inside the line, it's creating a damage or leakage, or it's creating an accident. So it's the completely we have to balance system to operate in a hydraulic. We have to always attach a one pressure relief valve so that the high pressure can be relieved in the pressure relief valve and system can balance. The first portion of the hydraulic system is the hydraulic pump and motor set. That's hydraulic pump and motor set. What is the function for that? It's giving a pressurized oil into oil reservoir to hydraulic circuit. Then after here is a one pressure gauge is attached. Pressure gauge attached because of that you have to know inside the pressure which operating pressure we have to giving it inside the line. Then after the 4x2 direction control valve. Direction control it's give the direction to flow of the hydraulic oil. Which direction we have to prefer? Means which line we have to prefer to pressurize, which line we have to prefer the relieve the oil from this circuit. Means our actuation process and retraction process. That's giving a direction to it. For this direction are controlled by the direction control valve. Here the one is a flow control valve is given. The one attachment is there with a intergull check valve. What is the function for? It's giving a flow of control. It's maintain the flow quantity inside the line. Then after the top side is a double acting cylinder. Double acting cylinder means it's working both sides of the cylinder from called as A side and B side. The working process for that, it's a move from both direction. Here you to show that it's a moving in a both direction from the left side direction from the right side direction as per our requirement. When you have to give the fluid inside this double acting cylinder. Here we have to know some parameter is there. Here the right as a P. What is the meaning for P? P means what? When you have to apply oil from the pump, is enter into the direction control wire. This P means you have to call as a pot. Then after the here is a T indication. T indication means that the return oil from the hydraulic circuit to oil reservoir. Means T meaning you have to say that the tank. Oil reservoir also known as a tank. So here is the T meaning is that the oil relieved from the hydraulic circuit and drained into the oil reservoir or tank. Here the meaning for A and B. A and B means the port are directly attached to a hydraulic circuit. That's called as an attached to a hydraulic circuit. Here one filter is attached. What is the meaning for filter? It's a filter the oil from coming from the hydraulic circuit. This is the basic points somewhere inside the hydraulic circuit. Next, we have to show the detailed discussion about the total number of the components. The first is a oil reserve. We have to mention here this oil as a oil reserve. What is the meaning for oil reserve? The main function of oil reservoir is to store sufficient amount of the hydraulic oil into the system. Means the system we have to put the sufficient oil inside the oil reservoir tank. Then after the usable oil can pass from the pump. What is the next function for the oil reservoir? Apart from this, it has the other important function such as to cool the hot oil returned from the circuit. When we have to apply the pressure on the oil, it's creating a pressure and also increasing a temperature. So oil temperature goes to a rise in a working of the hydraulic system, and when it's a return, the temperature is high. So it's a necessary to be that you have to cool the oil. That's also a function of oil reservoir. To settle down the contaminants. Contaminants is some of the impurities is there, some of the particle is there, some of the uh, density can be changed, viscosity can be changed. That's are different when we have to apply inside the hydraulic circuit and when you have to exit from the hydraulic circuit. So it's settled down in the contaminant in an oil reservoir tank. To remove the air bubble. Sometimes it's creating a air bubble at the higher pressure, so it's necessary to remove from the oil. So it's a useful tool. Oil reservoir can remove the air bubble from the hydraulic oil. To separate the water from the oil. When some of the oil are directly contact to an atmosphere and some of the moisture content are added into the hydraulic oil. So it's creating a water particle inside the oil. So it's necessary to we have to remove oil from the hydraulic oil. So hydraulic reservoir tank are give the another function as a cool, settle down the contaminant to remove the bubble and separate oil, separate water from the oil. Next is a rotary pump. This called as a hydraulic pump and motor set. This symbol are called as a pump and this symbol are called as a hydraulic motor. This portion are called as a hydraulic pump and this portion called as a hydraulic motor. Both are called as a hydraulic pump and motor set. Next, we will do rotary pump. We are using as a rotary pump to flow oil from the oil reservoir to hydraulic circuit. The function of the rotary pump is to pump hydraulic oil to the hydraulic circuit. Oil are sucked from the oil reservoir and pressurized into the hydraulic pump. And then after this pressurized oil are transferred to a hydraulic circuit. For a pump giving a additional rotation from the hydraulic motor. Here hydraulic motor can give the rotational RPM to rotate the pump. It converts mechanical energy. It's giving from rotation of shaft or rotation from the motor into hydraulic energy. The mechanical energy transferred into the hydraulic energy. The function is created by the hydraulic pump. The rotary pump is a positive displacement pump. It is a necessary or must be used a positive displacement pump in a hydraulic circuit because of we have to require a highly pressure inside the line. So we can carry the more and more load at our actuation process or our final process. So it's a necessary to use always positive displacement pump because of that there is a no slip and most of liquid are transferred from suction to discharge. So that we'll be using a positive displacement pump. It can deliver constant flow even at a high pressure. Another advantage is the positive displacement pump give a constant flow at a high pressure. Then after the another component we have to show is a pressure relief valve. This portion are pressure relief valve. It is an important component which is required for every positive displacement pump. When we have to using a positive displacement pump, it's giving a continuous flow inside the hydraulic line or hydraulic circuit. Whenever the hydraulic system are closed or it may be set down or it may be a stop condition, the pump are giving a higher and higher pressurized fluid inside the hydraulic set. It is creating a over critical pressure inside the circuit. So it can be damage or create an accident. So it's a made compulsory to relieve oil from the higher pressure in the hydraulic circuit and drain into the oil reservoir tank. That's the function is a pressure relief valve. That's release the pressure from the hydraulic circuit at over critical pressure. This valve is connected to a outlet of the pump. Here, this line is called as the outlet of the pump, and the valve are connected into the series point. Its the main function is to release the oil back tank when the pressure increase beyond the preset value. Hydraulic circuit the preset limit are defined which working pressure are required. If the pressure are giving a over critical to a preset limit, the excess oil can be removed from the pressure relief valve. Another component is a direction control valve. This portion are called as a direction control valve. What is the function for that? It's a control the direction of flow of oil which it perform the extension and retraction of actuator. Here This direction control valve, this is mentioned is that the 4 by 2 direction control valve are used for this particular hydraulic circuit. Just have to draw one direction control valve, 4 by 2 direction control valve. Just I have to draw what is the actual drawing of direction control valve. This is the 4 by 2 direction control use. I have to draw 4 by 2. This portion 1 square block gets called as a position 1 and this portion are called as a position 2, means two positions are available. By 2, that's meaning for it, two positions are available. The first drawing, the oil move from downward to upward and upward to downward, and another position can be like here you to draw at this level. This is the symbol for direction control valve, 4 by 2 direction control valve. Just you have to look in our figure. That portion called as a P, that portion called as a T, A and B. Just have to write. So can you easily understand. This portion are P, this portion called as a T, here this portion called as a, and this the portion called as a B. So easily understand. Here the starting of the direction control valve is give the direction of oil. Means the first we have to considering this position, means you have to considering this position only. Means that the oil are passed from the P. You have to mention in a different color so you can easily understand. Here the oil pass from the P to A, means oil are passed from this way and enter into the cylinder, and piston are moved in a right hand side direction, and the excess oil are removed from the B and enter at this point and return to T, and finally it's coming at the oil reservoir or tank. This is the first position, and it's giving a direction to oil where it to flow. Thus we have to looking for the position are changed. Thus we have to looking for the second position are active. Here the second position are active. What happened at this time? Thus we have to show in our drawing. If the position second are active, the oil are passed from the another one, means oil are passed from P to B. Just 1 minute. Oil are passed from P to B. At this time, what happened? The oil are passed from this way and enter the cylinder at B point. At this time, the cylinder move in a left-hand side direction. The excess oil are returned from the A to flow control valve, flow control to port A, and port A to T, and T to return, and return to oil reservoir tank. This is the flow path. Means the direction control valve gives the direction of oil where is to flow. Then after the we have to show another component, flow control valve. This portion are called as a flow control valve. It controls the rate of flow of oil by which speed, extension and retraction of actuator is controlled. If you to just like in that to say that is my double acting cylinder are moved 1 mm for 1 second. That may be a very slow speed. Here, this piston are moved from left hand side to right hand side direction from 1 mm per second. It move only and only 1 mm during completion of 1 second. How we can control? These are controlled by the flow control valve. It's give a lower level of the oil at the point A, and the piston are moved slowly. If you to require, the piston are moved from left hand side direction to right hand side direction. It's very fast. So what we can do? The flow control valve are adjust the rate of flow inside the circuit, and it's giving more and more oil inside the cylinder, and the piston move fast. When I have to say that it's a move 10 mm per second. That's called as a high rate of flow required inside the cylinder. So cylinders are moved fast. What is the meaning for that? The flow control was it the control the rate of flow of oil with speed we have to require. Here extension and retraction with position is one time it's moved the left hand side direction and second it's moved in a right hand side direction. That's called extension and retraction points. Then after the another point is actuator. What is the meaning for actuator? Actuator produces what? Actuator produces what? There are two type of the actuator: linear actuator and rotary actuator. Actuator means it's a transfer oil from one place to another place. And the movement for the actuator is a linear actuator and rotary actuator. Linear actuator is moving a any fixed place to second point place and second point place to a first point. That's called as something like as a reciprocating motion. And rotary actuator means it's a move in a circular direction. Also, actuator is the same like as a call that a pump. Here is a view for pump. Actuator also same like as a pump. Linear actuator is called a cylinder and rotary actuator is called as a motor. Means that there is the one type of the pump and motor set. For a double acting cylinder, for double acting cylinder develop a force and motion and it convert hydraulic energy into the mechanical energy. Here double acting cylinder shown in our drawing is here double acting cylinder. Double acting cylinder develop a force and motion. Motion are created by the hydraulic pressure and the force are given the external side. Here these points are called as a producing force. Here these points are called as a producing a force and the motion are given by the hydraulic oil and it's convert hydraulic energy into the mechanical energy. Inside the hydraulic energy are active, higher pressure as well, and outer side we can convert into the mechanical energy when we have to giving a work out from the hydraulic circuit. The force developed is equal to pressure of oil and area of piston. Here we have to know that the force developed here this point called as a force developed is equal to pressure of oil inside the hydraulic oil and area of piston. This area are called as a area of piston. That is the force developed at the external side of our hydraulic systems. Okay, next we have to show pressure gauge. Where we have to attach the pressure gauge. This is the pressure gauge. It's an important part of the hydraulic system. It shows the pressure reading and pressure setting are made by the looking for the pressure gauge. All of the hydraulic system, all of the pressurized system are required a pressure gauge. Because of that, the pressure gauge is the most essential part in a pressurized system. Because of that, the highly pressure working inside the system. Highly pressure means say that the more than the atmospheric lies is a 10 times or 20 times higher pressure in our hydraulic system. So it's necessary to have to know about the pressure, how many pressure running inside the system. So it's a necessary or essential part for any pressurized system. We have to attach the pressure gauge and it's a mention a pressure. Without a pressure gauge, it is not possible to make the pressure relief valve setting, unloading valve setting. Because of that, you have to know inside, don't know inside the hydraulic line pressure. So we cannot set the pressure relief valve setting. Pressure relief valve setting is a require one preset limit and also unloading valve also require one preset valve limit. When the preset limits are exceeded, the valve are operated. as a like for pressure relief valve or unloading one. So it's a necessary to know exact pressure to attach a pressure gauge in a hydraulic system. And after the one attached is a hydraulic filter. This portion called as a hydraulic filter. It's the main function to remove the suspended solid contaminants from the oil and provide a clean hydraulic oil into the system. When the hydraulic system are work with a different component like as a pressure relief valve, 4 by 2 direction control valve, flow control valve, double acting cylinder, and all connected hydraulic line, they are some of the corrosion erosion is there. The some of the small part of the solid content or contaminants are included in the oil. So it's necessary to have to clean the oil from the filter, and filter are essential component part. It's a required in an all hydraulic circuit to clean the oil and remove the solid content part from the oil. When we have to attach in a different places, like as we have to attach in here this place before starting the pump and hydraulic motor. Otherwise, we can say that we have to attach it here after the pump and motor set. Otherwise, last we can attach at the end of the reservoir tank. We can attach this filter. The filter is a essential part to add in a whole hydraulic system to clean the hydraulic oil. Okay. Thank you.